We're live. Let's see here.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Let's see if we've told nobody about this. So let's see if anybody shows up. Right now we have 0 listeners.
Oh,
So this could be a short-lived live stream.
how do you know when people come on?
Right now we have 1 person. Do you see up here? Can you see?
Mm-mm.
We have 1 person. Welcome, whoever the 1 person is. Excited to have you here. This is Allison wanted to do an impromptu Ask Us Anything.
Well, we just got done watching the tell-all, and we just needed some validation for our thinking.
Oh, you just want to talk about Sister Wives?
I mean, they can ask you anything.
Ask you about Sister Wives? Ask me anything?
They can ask me anything,
Yeah.
but I'm not as interesting as you. I'm not a psychologist.
Welcome.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our live stream.
Oh my God, we have 57 people.
Nice. Welcome to our live stream. We wanted to just do an impromptu one because we got done with we just got done with the Sister Wives tell-all, and talk about it. Well, I did. You were a little reluctant.
I just feel like I feel the need to have content for people here.
Yeah.
So we'll talk. We're gonna do a quick discussion of Sister Wives, and then in the comments ask us questions because we are not prepared for this. So we'll try.
I feel like you share too much.
We are prepared. We have a list of questions. If you want to help contribute to the discussion, leave a comment.
Did you know that, like, I learned when I was teaching group fitness a long time ago, you weren't supposed to apologize at the beginning of a class ever? And so I don't. So I think that's a good thing for you to do. We don't need to apologize. We just wanted to connect with the people.
That's true. Because so we do give the same advice if someone's giving like a speech. You never start off saying, "Hi, my name's David. I'm so sorry," or "My name's David, and I'm really nervous about this presentation," because then the audience has to
empathize with you.
Yeah, they're trying to protect you, and they're ready for the speech to really suck.
So why do I have to help you get there?
I don't know.
That is like literally your job.
No one said I was good at my job. Welcome. We are excited to have you for a spectacular question and answer session.
Yeah. So the reason, again, why we're here is we just watched the Sister Wives tell-all, and we have some thoughts. And I can start with my thoughts, but I also want to be validated by the audience.
Yeah. So if you could just talk and then just tell her she's right. Okay.
I feel like Robyn was really annoying during the whole tell-all. Does anyone else agree with me on that?
That's an easy one.
It is. Did you find her annoying?
And I said this in the reaction, but I think that I have a lot of compassion for her because I know she knows that everybody hates her. Her 3 ex-sister wives don't like her. The audience doesn't like her. And I think that it's a very intimidating thing for her to have to go and watch what people are going to hate about her and then comment on it. So I think that her response to that is to be as non-committal, as checked out as possible. She's trying to avoid saying anything remotely inflammatory. And so as a result, you get this like kind of half-assed presentation where she feels like she's lying the entire time.
Well, it's her inauthenticity that bothers me.
Yeah.
Like she never takes, oh, what happened there?
I just refreshed it.
Go
ahead.
Okay.
She takes what?
She like never takes accountability. She's like, it's always the global we all should be accountable, but never like what I did. And does anyone want to ask her that? Like, where did you personally contribute to this downfall?
Okay, but can I just play devil's advocate for Robyn? If she said, here's what I did, here's how I contributed, what do you think the psychological impact would be on her? If she acknowledged that it was her, right, I think that both her and Kody are responsible for the destruction of the family. But psychologically, if she allowed herself to recognize that, I think it would be devastating. So she has to just like make it.
Okay. Well, I know that's helpful for her, but it doesn't feel helpful for me. And I feel
Okay.
like it stunts her to
Mhm.
make good decisions for herself, future forward with Kody. I mean, she's stuck with that guy.
Well, he's
And
so
she
hot.
does
You
not
seen him
have
ride a horse?
giddy up. Gross out.
Mhm. I just saw someone made a point here. I want to talk about Garrison. Can I talk about Garrison's funeral for a second? Because somebody said, I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go.
I cried all the way through that, by the way.
Yes. Okay, so I have been so when I watched it, I was like trying to half say, let's not judge how people grieve. And then I was
Yes.
half saying, hey, but it is hard to watch this woman who I've seen cry nonstop for the last whatever 5 seasons. It's hard to see her not cry when something truly devastating has happened.
It's weird. She did not cry in the tell-all this time, which is really strange
Not
as
yet.
well.
Yeah, I don't know. She who knows what's going on with
Oh.
her. But can I just say that? And in this and then the final episode about the funeral, they had the clip of Kody riding the horse. Like, by the way, I watched it again, aggressively riding the horse. Like he's like, yeah, the poor horse is like being yanked all around.
I mean, David, I feel like you have limited interactions with a horse. We cannot comment on that. I know you grew up with them,
I had 2 horses,
but you weren't a rancher.
No, but we
You
did
were
hold,
scared to feed them.
because my parents make me go. It was my uncle's horses,
Okay.
and we had them in the old barn, and I would have to run through bear-infested woods to go feed them, and I was.
I know, but if
terrified.
you're herding cattle like on Yellowstone, I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying.
I feel like what's his name? Rip. He like moves those horses around.
But okay, fine. I thought he was aggressive on the horse, but either with the horses, whatever. Watching him ride is a real turn on. Gar. And we're all going like, what the hell? You're at Garrison's funeral, but she's not. Right? That clip is taken. God only knows when that clip was taken from. Because TLC is looking at all this content and trying to create a storyline.
Yes.
And they're saying part of the storyline is they go to Wyoming and Kody shows, where he's from. But we don't know that Robyn was interviewed right after that while she's headed to the funeral, or if 6 months prior she had said Kody's hot on a horse. And so I do think that we have to at least like acknowledge that she may not have been just primed with Garrison's passing when she had that interview.
Right. Also,
Yes.
do you think, how all the kids had to go work on the ranch, or all the boys?
Yes.
Do you think Robyn's boys have to work on the ranch?
Hold on. Christine Peterson.
Who?
He's a terrible rider. And I'm hoping that Christine has ridden more horses than I have.
Okay. Oh, the air lick was too much.
So I just want to know, in the reaction coming out, I talked about that, and my wife chastised me for how I talked about it because it was graphic.
Yeah. She did have good makeup, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but we didn't need the audio visual demonstration from Kody about how he handles it when she looks good, right?
Oh, he's so gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do wonder if like Robyn's boys had to go work on the farm in the summers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look. Yes, Kody was aggressive with the horse.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You feel bad now? Maybe I'm more of a rancher. Maybe I'm more of a rancher than you give me credit for.
I actually don't think I've a horse in my.
Well,
we did go on a date. When we were dating,
I took you on a horse.
How'd you do?
I think I was uncomfortable. We just had my uncle's horses stayed at our house for a little bit, and I just had to take care of them, meaning I picked up their shit and watered them and fed them. I hated them. Yeah, so
that's a big ask of your uncle to your parents. Which uncle?
He had horses, and he was like moving them up, and there was like a old little barn. It's like totally run down, but he could store them there. And so like my parents thought like that's really good for David to take care of him. I remember picking up their horse shit and like moving it.
Don't say bad words.
Their horse dung. And like being so upset that the horse, because I was like in 4th grade or something, like being like, why can't you guys just poop in the same place? Why do you have to poop everywhere? Yeah.
See it.
Yeah.
Allison is always right. Karen is right.
Mm-hmm. Kody's a Gene Simmons wannabe. Go kiss. Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know if you want to scroll up to when I asked the question, but I do feel like Robyn was bothersome, and I think it was her inauthenticity that bothered me.
Yes, I think it was. What other questions do you have?
I thought the funeral was really sweet, and it was so sad, and I thought it was really nice that all the brothers-in-law or the sons-in-law stepped up. Like Aspen's son made the urn, and then I feel like Madison's husband has to deal with so much. Like people are living at their house, and then also he was like really good with the kids, so it's kind of cool to watch.
The family come together. Yeah. Oh, here's a question or a comment from Wendy, which I agree with. I think Kody was very disrespectful to Suki in the tell-all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And it's like he talks over her. This is a huge pet peeve of mine in general, when people like are bulldozing a conversation and they like bulldoze, like they don't listen. So there were a couple times where I was like, look, you can see he's not listening to the question Suki's asking. He's already thinking about his response. So he's a terrible active listener. I can't imagine in like a spousal fight with him. Because he's not even listening to what you're saying at all. Yeah,
he doesn't listen, and then he talks so long that he's kind of filibustering.
Yeah,
to get his point across, so you can't intervene in any way.
And he doesn't take a breath, and I feel like I find it. I know you hate this word, but I find it triggering for me. Canada loves or asked a question. She wants to know, and I can paraphrase it because you scrolled up already, but she wants to know if having all those people rewatch those scenes is damaging to them.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Damaging? What do you mean?
Is it traumatic for them to rewatch the scenes with Suki and hear what other people are saying?
Well, I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you saw it because I started playing before you walked in. But at the very start, they said, we're not going to talk about Garrison's passing, which I thought was a very reasonable position for the family to take. Because I think that would put them, you're just suffering again. I don't know if I think it's trauma. Other than that, that's a good question. Yeah, it's probably, it's definitely making them think through a traumatic time, with Kody, but I guess I have not thought about it like it was a bad thing.
Well, and I think they're not trying to place blame on each other, but clearly they haven't reconciled.
Right.
Watching the show, there's no reconciliation happening post Garrison's passing.
Which really, I think, sucks, because the question that I want answered is, how have you changed if I were Suki, I would ask Kody, how have you changed your parenting style since Garrison's passing? How has that informed your new parenting style?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Has he done something? Does he recognize that he can change his behavior as a dad?
I thought another interesting comment that he made, which you was that how he has 7 or 8 different truths, and then he picks one.
So this is my issue with Suki is, right. I think Kody is, he disrespects her. I think he's aggressive. I think he's domineering. And then he just bloviates, takes up so much space. And then I think Suki just it seems like she just eventually moves on and he gets away with it. And I do wish that Suki would say, hey, okay, you just said 5 things. Let's go through all 5 of the things you said and have you actually walk us through them. Right? So when he says, yes, I have 5 truths, I wish she would say, hold on. What does that mean, you have 5 truths?
And what's the process for picking the accurate?
Right. How are you judging what truth we're going to be dealing with right now? mean, is there a more erratic way of describing your thinking than to say I have whatever, I have 5 different truths?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, that's okay because it's an iterative process and I'm still choosing my truth. What? Are you a lunatic?
Yes.
Like I want him to, or want her to
Yes.
slow him down, so he has to explain his thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fired.
Who was
Go to
fired?
Cheryl at the bottom. You just must.
Cheryl's right here.
Yeah. She just said, "Oh,
I think Kody is delusional when he says the only reason the lady left him was because I lost it. Fell in love.
oh."
Yeah. Yeah.
No, someone said Suki was fired, but she was on today. Unless
I think they wish Suki was fired.
Oh.
Yeah.
The other thing, that I thought was weird was the reason he liked Robyn. These were the characteristics was that she had self-respect, that she had communication, and that she was a good negotiator. And like, don't you want to know what she negotiates? Like, what does that mean? So like the other ones were bad negotiators.
Yeah.
What is she negotiating? Her time?
I think she does negotiate better than the others. I think was it this season where they were on, what was the season where they were on there? It was like in the snow and there was a patch that had been shoveled for them to stand in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I think,
2 seasons
and
ago.
she was saying, you need to go deal with your kids, build a relationship with your kids. And he was saying, I can't right now, or it's about me right now and I can't. And she was like, I think she did a good job of moving him in the right direction towards his kids. That felt like a negotiation.
Okay.
More than, I have never seen Janelle, Christine, or Mary ever influence him at all.
No.
Have you?
No.
So the Diesel Jeans model negotiates in the boudoir. Yeah, I think there's probably some truth there.
Yeah.
Pronounce that word.
Boudoir.
Boudoir.
Anyway, we just watched it and I felt like I needed to talk about it with you all. What'd you think about the funeral? I thought it was good. The episode that went through the funeral.
Oh, boudoir. Wait, hold on. Boudoir.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just asking what you thought about the funeral.
I thought the funeral was about as good as it gets. I thought it was great. I wish TLC. I think it was nice that TLC was in the parking lot. I think that it was, and I'm so happy that I feel honored that the family let us watch. And if I were in the family, I think I would not want TLC involved.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, but a lot of people said, and I think it's probably true, that the family, all the people in the crew,
They're family.
They're family. Like they're in their home. They knew Garrison, the whole, they probably all, I would imagine if it wasn't filmed, many people from TLC would have still gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I maybe it didn't feel as bad. But it was wonderful, I think, for us to be able to watch. I thought the sermon was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the funeral was, that's interesting. Did you think the funeral was too much about Kody?
I think the episode was a lot about Kody, but him having to dig the grave and everything. But
that's not Kody's fault. Like that's what I think we do have to think about that. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Like it's the editors.
It's the editors who decide how much air is given to each character, right? And they are thinking about like this is characters and there's a story arc, and if you ask me whose reaction do I want to see most, it would have been Kody's. So I can imagine if you're the editor, you're gonna highlight him. So, I mean, it did feel like that. I understand people. I didn't think that, but I can see that. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
modeling something in how he grieves. But I thought that it felt. My take was that Kody felt genuine grief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't like that when he was digging the grave that he and the other two guys were all mic'd up. And I commented on that in my reaction, and then somebody commented, it would have been nice because Kody said, my other sons were taking over at the funeral home, and I said,
I was the first.
I was the first to hold him. Let me take this. It would have been nice had he said, "Hey, I want to dig his grave. Why don't you, my sons, come and help?"
Yes.
Versus right. Instead he said, you all sit down. I'm more important. He could have said, all of you,
Can we do this? Can we do this together? Yeah. Can we do this together?
But so I think that's true. That would have been a nice thing. And if your son has just died, the idea that you're going to always make super rational, super thoughtful decisions, it's really easy for us a year out to go oh, that would have been a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Kody said Garrison's name. But I don't know about Robyn. Robyn was mostly focused. What we saw was her mostly focused on Kody's well-being.
Yeah. The dream was a little. Yeah.
Which, Brooks, this is a fair point. It could have been true that Kody would have let them, but the boys didn't want anything to do with him. That's also possible. Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was really annoying is on the tell-all is that Robyn and Kody are so good at not answering questions. No one else is I'm not going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
All the other, all the OGs say everything, but Robyn and Kody have firm boundaries that they're not going to talk about. And you're it's a tell-all.
I like that comment from you. Hold on. You're telling nothing. Tell something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a fair point from Lindsay. I think also that it may have been, if Robyn had been grieving like the others, I bet you she would have caught some heat for, people would have said you shouldn't grieve. I don't know though. Why? I just don't. Being that meta about how you're being perceived, I guess it probably comes with the territory, but it just sucks. Versus being able to just grieve the passing of your son. You know.
Someone really wants us to do. I really want you guys to interview Suki. I agree. And actually, David and I have a surprise for you all coming. We are going to be interviewing.
Can you don't promise that if we're not going to do that?
Oh my gosh, David, you just ruined it.
What?
I'm just telling him that we are going to try to get an interview with the OG3 and try and do our own tell-all.
Okay. All right.
Don't ruin it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at other comments here. Yeah, you think Kody was overcompensating during the show at the funeral?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to look here. Any other questions? We could try to interview Suki. That would be fun to get her take on it.
What does she think of when Kody is interrupting her?
Yeah, wouldn't it be fun to hear her be it's so hard?
Is it how does she keep her cool in that situation? Because it definitely escalates,
Yeah, I
don't
know.
think I would. I would need to channel Jefferson Fisher.
Yeah. Do you think Kody actually a person on taking anabolic steroids? It's very possible that he does have he does look fit, but he is a little bit, his skin is a little bit redder now than it used to be, right? Which comes from testosterone or
I don't know any of the
something?
science behind it, but he looks very, I can't tell like what's going on with his face. It's like either it's always a bad makeup job or lighting, but his coloring is off.
Hold on, but I genuinely thought in the tell-alls, I was thinking he is a good-looking guy. Is he not a good-looking guy?
I mean,
Even with the
when he
weird
smiled
hair.
more, I felt like he was, and when he was like fun and goofy all the time, I was like, oh, I mean, I get it. But it was just like good edits, apparently. He had good edits.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining, you guys.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Is that it?
I think so. I just wanted to connect with you guys. We have our our critique of the last episode forthcoming.
Yeah, so I'll edit it tonight. It'll probably come out on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, thank
Happy
you all for
Memorial Day.
coming. All right.